28th. Ms. Burnside, can you please call the roll?
Board Member Susan Bergen,
Here.
Board President Thayer Joshua,
Oh, here.
Board Member Alyssa Malaspina,
Here.
Board Member Aaron Siders,
Aaron,
Board
talk.
Member, I'm sorry,
Aaron, talk.
Here. Here.
got it. Board Member Cowie Tellisford,
Here.
Board Member Arun Vadlamani,
Here.
Board Member Courtney Wingfield,
Here.
Board Member Caitlin Whitletter,
Please note for the record, Board Member Whitletter indicated she would be absent this evening.
and Board Member Johanna Wright. Absent. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take note, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. Written notice was sent from the Office of the Secretary of the Board at 5:30 p.m. December 21st, and said notice was then sent via email to the Maplewood Township and South Orange Village clerks and editors of the News, Record, Star Ledger, and the Village Green. Please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The school board meeting is a business meeting in public, not a meeting with the public. Oftentimes, it may appear to members of our audience that the Board of Education takes action with very little comment, and in many cases, unanimous vote. Before a matter is placed on the agenda for action at a meeting, the administration has thoroughly reviewed the matter with the superintendent. If the superintendent is satisfied that the matter is ready to be presented to the board, it is referred to the appropriate board committee. Members of the board committee work with the administration and superintendent to ensure that members fully understand the matter. After the committee discusses the matter, it is then shared with other board members for consideration. Only then is it placed for an agenda for a board discussion and action at a public meeting. We are now at the time of hearings of individuals and delegates. Please note that public speaks is not a time for dialogue with the Board of Education. It is an opportunity for you to share a comment with the Board of Education. In addition, by law, administrators and Board of Education members are not permitted to publicly discuss personnel matters, student discipline, and other issues requiring confidentiality. While we may not respond to comments, all input shared with the Board of Education is taken very seriously and will inform future deliberations, and work by the Board of Education and its committees. It was a time limit of 3 minutes for each speaker. We ask that you state your name and time for the record. We'll go with our in-person public speaks first, and I do not see any in-person public speaks. We'll now switch over to our online public speaks. And I do not see any submissions for online public speaks. Is that correct, Mr. Bonds?
Oh, that's correct.
Thank you. That concludes our first public speaks. I'll now turn it over to Dr. Taylor for the action portion of the meeting.
Thank you for unmuting me. Good evening, everyone. Thank you to our board members for making time during your holiday season for this important action, which is a resolution that is rejecting the bids received for upcoming construction projects. I do not have the resolution number in front of me. Mr. Burnside, can you please add it to the record?
It's resolution 4389.
We put that forward for the board's consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Bergen. All in favor? It appears to be unanimous. Mr. Burnside, we're now in discussion for the above mentioned item, resolution 4389. Any comments or questions on resolution 4389? Seeing none, I just want to again reiterate what Dr. Taylor said. Board Member Malaspina.
Sorry, I just want to understand the process moving forward as to what is going to be occurring.
Thanks. I was actually just getting ready to go into that. I can talk a little bit about it, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Burnside. First, I just want to reiterate Dr. Taylor's comments and thank everyone for making time during this holiday season to make yourselves available for this very special meeting. I know we were here a couple weeks ago, but for what many of us thought was the last time this year. But this came up, and from the Board of Education perspective, to ensure that board business happens, I do want to thank each and every one of you for making yourselves available. Mr. Burnside, my understanding is that after this rejection, we will be rebidding these tomorrow, if not mistaken. And the hope is that doing this now allows us, versus doing it at a reorg or a subsequent meeting, allows us to have this done for the district to re-advertise the bids and then bring them forward, hopefully have a resolution at the January general meeting for an acceptance. Is that correct? Or is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
That is correct. We are going to treat this very similar to the South Mountain bids that came in over budget and when we rejected them, and we separated out the HVAC portion of the project.
Thank you, Mr. Burnside. Any other comments or questions on resolution 4389? Board Member Malaspina, I see you talking, but I'm not sure if that's an old hand, new hand, muted, not muted.
Sorry, it's a new hand. So I'm just trying to understand. So we're separating out now the portions and going to bid on the HVAC separate from the rest of the construction?
The HVAC is going to be what's considered an alternate in the bid, so it will be carved out, if you will. Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to get an understanding. Thank you.
And to reiterate what Mr. Burnside said, that is similar to what we did with the South Mountain Annex projects. It was about a year ago at this time, if I'm not mistaken. So with that, are there any other comments or questions on resolution 4389? Board Member Malaspina, I believe that's the same hand?
Yeah, same hand. I'm used to it getting rid of it, and it doesn't do it for me anymore.
Thank you. All right, seeing that, I'm going to close discussion. Mr. Burnside, can you please call the roll on resolution 4389?
Board Member Bergen,
Yes.
Board President Joshua,
Yes.
Board Member Malaspina,
Yes.
Board Member Siders,
Yes.
Board Member Tellisford,
Yes.
Board Member Vadlamani,
Yes.
Board Member Wingfield.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Burnside. We're now move on to our second public speaks. And I do not see any in-person public speaks. I will now transition to the online submissions. And I do not see any online submissions. Is that correct, Mr. Bonds?
That is correct.
Thank you. So that concludes our second public speaks. We'll now move on to new business. Is there any new business this evening? All right, seeing none, I'll close new business and I will like to make the following motions. The Board of Education will meet in public session and hold its annual reorganization meeting Thursday, January 5th at 6:30 p.m. in the district meeting room, 525 Academy Street in Maplewood, as well as using an online video conference platform. Immediately following, action will be taken. The Board of Education will adjourn to closed session in the superintendent's office to discuss personnel, legal matters, negotiations, and other matters to be announced at a later date. Immediately following the closed session, the Board of Education will return to public session at approximately 7:30 p.m. Community can view the meeting by taking the steps which will be listed on the agenda. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Bergen. All in favor? That appears to be unanimous, Mr. Burnside. And I think officially for the actual last time, this time, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting of the South Lawn Maplewood Board of Education at 5:13 p.m. Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Siders. All in favor? That appears to be unanimous, Mr. Burnside. We are adjourned. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your holiday season and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.